You wouldn't match by any chance, would you?
Isaiah, well done. You've gone viral, man. And
yes,
the truth rings, doesn't it, man? It just resonates.
You know, I have to say, I never thought that a lunch break video. I cut that on my lunch break, and I had just finished getting some food, and it was right after all of the stuff first came out about Doge, right? And all of the billions of dollars that were going all over the place, and it was overwhelming. It was like, you know what, I never knew, like, this is a political party that I used to that I went pretty hard for. I supported the Democratic Party from about 2010 is when I officially changed parties. I had voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and then made the full switch. So we're talking about like 15, 16 years worth of support. And then for them to just betray our trust the way that they did, it was like, you know what, I'm tired. I got to make this. And 33 million views later, I'm on with another apostate who was directly affected by the left. So am I correct about that, Benny?
Yeah, I mean, listen, they tried to kill us in DC and burn my house down with my baby inside, and so yeah, I'd say that's affected.
Oh my God!
So we're like, well, listen, man, we're all fighting the same problem here, which is a government that is totally and completely unaccountable to the people that it's supposed to be about. And I think that maybe I live in a bubble, but when I'm like out and people are mowing their lawns in my neighborhood, and I'm like chatting people up at the ice cream store or the coffee shop or the restaurants or waiters, like, people seem locked in. I don't know where it's like where you are, but like, people are waking up, man.
Well, I'm in New York City. I'm in Brooklyn specifically. And before I go any further, you are welcome here in New York anytime. So come on up when you want. I talk to people a lot up here, and even I'm noticing a difference when I talk to people. I remember I was in a supermarket one day in Manhattan picking something up, and a black guy that the cashier that I was working with was a black gentleman, a little younger than I am, was telling me like, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris at all. And this was during the election last year. So, certain people that I speak with at work, I mean, you do have some people who were like, Harris, like strong Harris supporters, but a good amount of people are either very tacit about their support for Trump, or they're pretty outright with it, and they give very good, and they're able to rationalize why they did it.
Trump won boroughs. Trump won boroughs. Trump did that rally in Harlem that was unbelievable. You couldn't get in. There were people like for miles waiting to get in. It's incredible.
That was the Bronx. And yeah, like there were people that came from all over the place. In fact, the Bronx is the borough that got the most swing, the largest swing to Trump. I believe it was plus 11, if memory serves. So this notion that, matter of fact, I remember watching a clip of Tucker Carlson saying something very similar about California. How California is this majority Hispanic state, and Hispanics are very much conservative in their views, as are black people for the most part. Okay, I'm not going to say we all are, but for the most part, we do have conservative, we'll say, tendencies, as it were. And this is the first time that minorities en masse are actually starting to see the Democrat Party for what they are, and are making a very marked switch, while the ones who are moving further to the left are, no offense, but white leftists, white liberals. Yeah. They're the ones in the wilderness right now, and we're the ones trying to keep the country on track.
Yeah, so the Bronx, that's where AOC is from. That's what AOC represents, right? Like, so how
A portion of it.
and AOC's up there on the list of people who Democrat base wants to be president in 2028, which I find particularly fascinating and entertaining.
Yeah, good luck.
Is the most entertaining timeline, Isaiah. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. Your take on this list? Why don't we, producers, let's grab the list and pop it up. But AOC's up at the top. Kamala Harris up at the top. Pete Buttigieg. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. All the entire rogues gallery of the last 4 years. Yeah. Let's see how well that goes. And here's what's crazy about AOC. I want to give you some pretty good context about that.
Please.
So New York 14, the 14th congressional district, is split between two boroughs. It's the northern the northern portion is that of the Bronx, and then the bottom half is Astoria, Queens. Okay, which is the northern tip of Queens. Guess what time she spends the most? Guess what place she spends the most of her time in? In Astoria,
not Queens. Yeah.
No. It's not the Bronx.
Yeah,
she's never in the Bronx. She's never. In fact, I remember constituents used to complain about her not having a congressional office. You couldn't reach her. In fact, she eventually had to start sharing an office with another member of Congress. So it's like, I don't know what's changed. I mean, like I live in Brooklyn, so I don't know what's different now. But the fact that this lady is presented to the American people as this paragon for Black and brown people, it's like, you're never around us, and everyone knows this. It's hilarious to me.
You can definitely see it in the dance moves here. She's fake. She's been, I don't know what that is.
That's called being a try-hard, Benny.
Yeah,
that's right. Being a try-hard. Okay, and the thing about AOC, like, she loves her fake accents just like Kamala. So yeah, none of that surprises me.
I'm sensing a trend here. Okay, so here's the actual breakdown. Kamala Harris leading the way, 36%. Okay. Pete Buttigieg with 10%. That's it. It's a bold strategy. Gavin Newsom, that's not going to happen. Gretchen Whitmer, Mark Cuban. Well, look at that. But it looks like Kamala's. It looks like it's Kamala's. It looks like it's Kamala's to lose. Looks like it's Kamala's here to lose, man.
God.
What do you? I mean, I don't think that's gonna. I don't think it's gonna work out really great.
Listen, if the choice is between a drunken communist and the bright new, the boyish young face of maternity leave in America in Pete Buttigieg, I mean, if this is the best they got, then I like the GOP's chances in 2028. That is if the GOP comes out with the right ticket. And and to borrow a phrase from our leftist friends, I am manifesting a JD Vance Byron Donalds ticket for 2028. I like that one.
All right, that's two big time favorites of this audience.
Oh my God.
So somebody who's not a favorite of this audience is Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is catching it this morning for his appearance on Saturday Night Live last night, where he pantomimed a MAGA supporter who was scared to shake hands with Black people. Given the fact that you have probably the most viral video in MAGA circles right now as a Black man, what's your message, Tom Hanks?
Stick to Colin Wilson. Okay, like I don't. That was projection. That's projection. I mean, I'm gonna just say this real quick, and this is a theory that I have when it comes to the relationship between Black people and most of the white folks that they encounter. If you look at the fact that we are that black people are mostly in urban cities. The vast majority of our population are in cities, and most of us only really deal with urban with like the white people who live in urban areas are mostly leftist, right? They're liberal, they're leftist. So the most of the racism that I've heard black people talk about, I'm convinced it's all coming from leftist circles.
Interesting.
Because I grew up in predominantly black and predominantly white and suburban settings. Okay, like I grew up in the church. That is, I want to just clarify that. I did not experience any of the real deal kind of racism that people talk about. Like, you know what? Like I'm 6'3" and like 300 plus. I walk past a white lady on the streets of Brooklyn and I see her clutch her purse a little tighter. I bet you that woman voted for Kamala Harris in 2024. So everything that you see on the screen is projection, in my opinion. It's like this is how they feel, but because they can't handle any type of criticism on themselves, of course they're going to project it onto their political enemies. It's Marxism 101, and let's just stop pretending here.
If you want to see true systemic and institutional racism in America, come out as a conservative if you are the member of an oppressed minority. Do that. I mean, we have so many friends, and you look through their DMs and you look through the messages that they get. It is so vile, and it's just so much hate flooding in. I'm sure you've experienced it since you went viral over the past few weeks, Isaiah. And it's always coming from the left. Man, some of the darkest, nastiest stuff. On the other side, if you want to experience real love, go to a MAGA rally. And
I haven't been to one yet.
Yeah,
I haven't been to one yet.
I would recommend. I mean, you know, Trump's obviously you're right. He didn't do the rally at Harlem, but he did go to the bodega right in Harlem. Is that correct? The bodega
barbershop.
in Harlem.
It was a barbershop. It was a barbershop he went to.
Okay.
Yeah. And he had a bunch of guys around him, and the guy, and I think the owner of the barbershop that he was visiting was telling him about how his rent had jumped up from like $4,000 or $5,000 to somewhere over 20 grand or something like that. I'm getting the numbers mixed up. You know, maybe your producers can look that up real quick. But I remember that conversation well, enough to know that there was at least a conversation with black men on the part of President Trump, which is far more than Kamala Harris was offering.
Yeah.
Kamala Harris's plan for black men was weed and crypto.
That's right.
That was it.
Yes.
So that's all we are, huh?
Yeah, was I hallucinating?
That's all we are.
No, we lived through that. We actually saw that. Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, it was an insult beyond insult, and it just made me remember. Like, listen, this is like, if this is how they think of us, if this is how little they think of us, why in the world are we giving these people our vote? Why do we keep doing this? Look at Chicago, for instance. You've got that group Chicago Flips Red, where they're basically screaming at Mayor Brandon Johnson every single day about his antics. That guy's got like what, a 13, somewhere like a 31 or percent approval rating in the city of Chicago right now. No, progressive. Matter of fact, I'm not going to use progressive. Communist policies don't work. And when they don't work to the point where even the minorities that you're keeping as pets start to feel like what are we doing? What are we doing?
What is your message to President Trump as somebody who has, again, just sort of bared your soul, and I'm sure you had no idea that it would go so viral? Clearly the president's agenda has affected you pretty profoundly.
Mm-hmm. My message to President Trump is this: keep going. Keep going. It's only two words: to keep going. I'm getting everything I voted for. I wanted a clean out of the federal government. I wanted lower taxes and lower inflation. And I know that the only way that's going to happen is if we lower government spending. And judging from how much of our tax money, my tax money, your tax money, that has gone to everything but what helps our fellow, us and our fellow Americans, those right now are my only two words: keep going. President Trump, keep going. And also, thank you for acknowledging Black people by name, specifically in your inauguration address. A lot of people love to say that that Trump is this white supremacist. It's almost almost like Pavlov's bell. When they just like somebody will just rattle off and just go, well, Trump's a white supremacist. They can never explain how or why, but white supremacists don't thank Black and Hispanic people for their vote in the inauguration speech. They don't do it. I don't know, but yes. But my message to the president is keep going. And thank you for everything that you've done so far. You're awesome.
It's a really inspiring time to be alive, Isaiah. It's amazing to see the good energy and the good vibes. It's been amazing to connect with you. We hope that you're a regular on the program. Obviously, we have the Wilson shout out here. Maybe Tom Hanks can stick to this. Maybe this is Tom Hanks when he's sent to Guantanamo Bay, right?
You know what? Probably.
Yeah, this is right.
It's my hope, dude. But you know what? And also to you, Benny. I've been keeping up with you. I've been keeping up with your story since the other place that you used to work for. I don't know if you mentioned them, but to watch you grow into this media powerhouse over the last several years, salute to you, man. Seriously, you're doing a great job.
You know what? It's a movement, and it's just an honor to fight with patriots. Have the same thing that I do, right? Which is a safe country to raise our kids in.
That's all we want.
And to leave this place.
Well, I don't have kids yet. I don't have kids yet, but I'm an uncle.
10-10.
I'm an
10-10
uncle.
would recommend. Along with a MAGA rally, I recommend that you go follow Isaiah Carter and head on over 150,000 followers. Isaiah, man, you are a rocket ship, brother.
Thank you, man.
Exciting. It is a very, very exciting time to be alive. And patriots like Isaiah make it all the more fun. We're gonna have fun in the golden era. God bless you, Isaiah. Thank you.
God bless you too, brother. Stay safe down there.